Hey everybody, it's your girl Shay Coulee
and Raja O'Hara,
and welcome to another episode of RuPaul's Drag Race Fashion Photo Review
UK versus the world.
World.
That's how I wanna hold it.
What are we going to be doing, Raja?
We are going to be tooting and booting the looks for the runway themed work of art.
I was actually just thinking, because, when we think about works of art, like one of the biggest heavy hitters in fashion right now, Schiaparelli. And I love how we've seen kind of like that macabre interpretation of like art and the human figure work its way back into like Schiaparelli's aesthetic. And we see that so much in fashion trends right now. So I'm really interested to see like what girls pull from like what's trending now in fashion and like what we're used to and accustomed to seeing when it comes to fine art.
Well, when I think of myself, I always think of a work of art. So there's that. First things first, I already see myself that way. But what I would display is probably something a little bit more sculptural, probably something that solidifies and makes me look like I'm a statue come to life. Could you imagine being an artist back in those times, girl, spending a whole year of their life carving out the statue of David?
Yeah, baby, and that was a big old man.
That's a month alone on the balls, bitch.
The competition is getting fierce. We only have 5 contestants left, and we are just 1 week away from the final, so they better turn it out.
It better be very artistic, I know that much, okay?
It better be ready to hang up in the MoMA.
No refrigerator art, okay?
Category is work of art.
First up is Bag of Chips. I instantly understood that she was referencing Vincent van Gogh's Sunflowers. Although she looks to me a little bit more like Winnie the Pooh's Honey Pot.
That's what I was thinking.
And maybe it's just the vibrancy of the yellow that's like taking me to honey automatically. And then the shoe, of course, I absolutely hate. But, one thing that we've come to know about Miss Bag of Chips is that she's going to give us a camp illusion that like fits very well. So for the fit and for the camp illusion, I live. But I hate it, of course.
Not of course. I think what is doing this runway look the biggest disservice is the materials. They have chosen to use this kind of factory sequin glitter dot-esque fabric. And for me, what it reads to is like children's school pageant versus main stage runway of RuPaul's Drag Race. Now, the silhouette doesn't really bother me as much. What I would have done is I would have had the designer go and make like a mock-up and a base like out of a muslin or like some type of like backed, like a crepe back kind of like cotton or something. I would have them paint it, and you wanna know what I would have them paint it with? Latex. Because you can build up latex and get that 3D effect, because that's what we think of when we think of Van Gogh. We think of those broad brushstrokes. And I think like articulating that on the outfit would have really brought that to the next level versus just kind of this run-of-the-mill interpretation of it.
I understand exactly what you're saying. And that would have been absolutely sickening, but we have to judge the one that we're looking at.
Yes. Though I love the artist, I love the inspiration. The execution wasn't there for me, so it's going to be a boot.
It's going to be a boot for me.
Up next, we have Blue Hydrangea. So Blue Hydrangea is giving us some Picasso. I feel like we're getting a little bit of cubism.
I actually kind of like it. I love the fact that it's all boned and piped in black to give it that drawn look. I definitely get the Picasso reference from this. It's vibrant, it's fun. It may be a little bit too long, but I don't hate it. Hold on now. There are elements of this that I absolutely love. The fact that it's piped in black and that it gives you that Art Deco style. I don't know if this is Art Deco. I don't know if that's what I'm calling it. I didn't go to art school like you, Miss Shay Coulee. Okay, I don't know all the terms and the technical aspects of it, but I love what it's giving off. I feel like the bottom of it, for me, It's something in the ruffle that I don't necessarily like. Maybe a little bit too long, a little bit too voluminous at the bottom. As far as a concept, I love the back of it. I love how she added those extra pieces on the back to give a little bit more of a 3D effect.
I'm conflicted. I don't enjoy the ruffles because I feel like we're getting all these clean lines throughout the piece, and then the softness of these ruffles just kind of throw it. They take it into this kind of Spanish flamenco area that I'm not sure that she's trying to go towards. I mean, Picasso did a lot of mixing with like medias and lines, but it really only spoke to me when she turned around and showed the bag. And I feel like the outfit really needs to make an impact from the moment that you step out.
I personally understood the reference point, especially when she turned around. Maybe if she would have started backwards and then turned around.
Yes, but I think that she did a good job. I felt like there was a little bit more of an editing eye that was used on this piece, so I appreciate that. For the sake of effort, I'm gonna give this one a 2.
I'm actually giving it a 2. Up next is Janie Jackay. I instantly knew exactly what she was channeling. I don't necessarily love this color combination together. I think it's because of the sequin of the jacket and maybe the fit of the jacket, because I feel like it needs to be tapered all the way into the waist. If you were gonna go for a Marilyn Monroe reference, I feel like maybe the iconic white dress that she had would have been a better reference point as far as dress is concerned. But I love the idea of coming out as an Andy Warhol picture. I love the fact that she's painted herself the entire color, but something is off.
Not a fan of this. I think the wig is really gorgeous, the way that they have like painted the wig to kind of like help and create those like illustrative lines. The makeup for me, especially in the face, is a big miss. She highlighted with that white way too much, specifically in her cheeks and her forehead. Your highlight should really be centered around the entire center of your face. That should have come down into the chin, and it shouldn't have been so white. You should have found ways to kind of create strokes or dots, kind of like Liechtenstein, to make it look like it was like a screen print, because that's what Andy Warhol did.
That's what I was reading from it, that it was giving a little bit more muddy and a little bit more haphazard, like it was an accident as opposed to it being like intentional. Black isn't black enough, and it's not like painterly. You know what I'm saying? We don't see like the stroke.
You know what I think would have looked really cute on this wig to like give that illusion of the black like lines would have been to have like glued thin like lines of black felt onto the wig to like create those little strokes. The like swoop, right? That's like coming above her head, how underneath that's been shaded all black. None of that should have been black. That should have been absolutely popping yellow, because you already have the swirl. That's gonna create the shape enough. And going in and shading that was a disservice to the style of the wig. And also the eyebrows bugged me, because there should have been a very stronger brow, a black brow, something much more sculpted and graphic. The eye makeup is a miss for me. The color of the coat is a miss for me. Warhol, this interpretation is something that we see a lot. So if you're going to do it, you need to do it well. Janie Jackay should have studied the piece a little bit more and really tried to mimic the painting on her face. This one is going to have to be a boot for me.
We love the inspiration, but this one, it just didn't meet the mark. I'm gonna have to boot it.
Next up, we have Jujube.
Absolutely stunning from head to toe. This is actually probably one of my favorite looks that she's pulled down the runway this season. But with that being said, her inspiration of bringing the shapes from buildings, from the Art Deco style, I see a little bit of that at the top, but I feel like it's a little bit too wavy as opposed to a little bit more geometric, like the Art Deco style. As far as a look is concerned, Miss Jujube looks stunning though. I love the headpiece, I love the hair, I love the makeup, I love the flow of this garment that she's wearing. I don't necessarily like the embellishment and the stonage and all of that, but I think that's what she needed to actually make this a part of the category, because otherwise I don't think that it would be giving actually what she is trying to present.
I think that this nude color is beautiful on Jujube. I love this kind of creamy color palette on her. I feel like for the category, however, that this one is a miss. Now, she referenced Iris Van Herpen. I don't see it in this piece at all. For the overall look, I'm gonna give it a toot. However, for the category, well, I mean, can I really give it a boot for it being like a work of art? Because art is subjective. You know what I'm saying?
And you don't see that inspiration. I think it's okay to boot things. You know, this is your decision, girl.
If Jujube was on the red carpet at the Met Gala for the Heavenly Bodies theme, this would have been so appropriate. You know what? I'm gonna allow her to have it because for me, it is such an improvement from last week. So I'm gonna give her a toot.
She looks absolutely stunning. I really can't knock her for this particular look. So I too would give her a boot. I mean, a toot. Ooh, I'm sorry. I will give her a toot as well. Last but certainly not least, it's Mohart. Now, Shay, you're gonna have to explain her reference for me. So I have no idea what the inspiration is.
Okay, well, she said that the inspiration was Salvador Dali. He was like the father of surrealism. You know, you think melting clocks, the paintings of like the elephants in the desert with the long stilted legs, you know, always taking the things that we're familiar with and twisting them and making them dark and kind of macabre. There's some hands, but you can't really read that they are hands like holding her until you zoom in really, really close.
I wouldn't have gotten hands from that. It kind of just looks like a belt. When I initially saw it, I was thinking that I don't like this. And I think that although art is subjective and you are supposed to have strong feelings towards it, I feel like when it comes to fashion, it should also, although it should be thought-provoking and interesting in that way, I don't think it should just like give you a feeling of, oh girl, this just doesn't make sense at all. I need to understand at least the thought process of putting these pieces together. And for me, like the construction of the dress, like the shape of the dress, I understand a Grecian silhouette, but this wasn't giving any silhouette. It wasn't giving any shape. It's not doing her body any justice.
I don't see it. The flowers, the Grecian draping, the Sacred Heart belt bodice piece, the boot, I don't see it. I've really been loving what Mohart has been bringing to the runways this season. However, this look I am not in love with.
I love the color, but that's really the only positive that I can really give it because I didn't understand the boot. I didn't understand the one boot. So after you've broke it down for me and gave me reference for this artist, I'm gonna also have to follow my first mind and give it a boot. Although I absolutely have been enjoying what Mohart has been bringing, this one is a little bit disappointing for me.
For me, it's gonna be a boot. Trend alert! All that glitters isn't gold.
It doesn't have to be shiny.
No, it ain't gotta be a stone. You can put some glitter on it. If you ain't got the coin to them Swarovskis, girl, throw down some glue and put some glitter on it.
Our top two of the week is
Blue Hydrangea. Go ahead, Blue Hydrangea, with this Picasso interpretation. Loving the color blocking, loving the scale, loving that it's larger than life.
Yes, hang her up in the Louvre, boo-boo. Catch the finale this Tuesday on WOW Presents Plus and BBC 3 for the UK and Canada.
So what you're saying is we can watch this anywhere in the world on WOW Presents Plus except for the UK and Canada?
Yes, and in the UK, you can watch it on BBC 3.
Ooh.
What team are you on?
I'm on Team RuPaul because she signs all the checks.
Okay, I'm with you when you're right.
So excited for the finale and so excited to toot and boot the looks of next week's runway with you, my sis.
Come on, finale, we can't wait. I hope they bring it next week. Good luck, girls. See y'all soon.
Break a lash.
No refrigerator art, okay?